as the general manager of GTSC, any gaps that may have occurred, and your reinstatement, if any, up until this date. Just put the committee through.
Good morning once again. Thank you, Chairman and Council. As I said before, and on my statement, I was appointed as General Manager of Gambia Transport Service Company in July 2013, when the company was formed, and was working there until June 2016, when my services were terminated. And I was out of office for 18 months. That is from June 2018 up to December 2017. I was reinstated in 2018, precisely 2nd of January, and still occupying the same position up to today as General Manager of Gambia Transport Service Company.
So the gap that you had as General Manager was in between June of 2016 and December of 2017, correct?
That's correct, Council.
Do you recall the exact date in December that you resumed?
No, I resumed 2nd of January 2018.
2nd of January
2018.
So in fact, it was from June 2016 to effectively?
Yes.
2nd of January 2018.
Exactly.
When did you get the appointment letter? Was it in December?
Which appointment? That's reinstatement or
the reinstatement letter? Yes.
No, it was, I think, April 2017.
April 2017.
Yes.
Now it's clear from your testimony the time that you are not General Manager, and in your last testimony, the last time you were here, you had mentioned 2 other personnel held the position after you.
That's right.
Who was your immediate replacement?
It was Mr. Habib Drame.
Do you know the period Mr. Drame held the position of General Manager?
I don't think it was immediately after my termination, but it will be maybe a month or 2 after that. Maybe July, August of 2016 until early December, as I said before, to early December 2017 when he was appointed minister.
Until December 2017?
Early part of December, yes.
What about the other holder of the office?
He stepped in shortly after Mr. Dame's appointment as minister. So his was just for a few weeks, not more than 3 weeks.
Who was that?
Mr. Raymond Cisse.
So for all intents and purposes, Mr. Drame held the position as the substantive General Manager of GTSC for quite a while?
During my absence.
During your absence?
Yes, please.
So just to reconcile, you mentioned that your your reinstatement letter arrived in April of
2017.
Yes.
That's when I got the reinstatement letter, yes.
But at that time, it was Mr. Habib Drame who was the holder of the position.
Yes.
And he remained the holder of the position until December of that same year.
Exactly.
Did the letter state when you were to resume?
With immediate effect, that was April 2017.
Can you reconcile that for us? Mr. Habib Drame was still General Manager, yet your letter says that you should resume with immediate effect.
I said it was a difficult period. I think during my last appearance here, we call it the GTSC impasse. I don't want to go in details, but that's what happened.
We love details.
If you can spare me the trouble of not mentioning it, I would appreciate that.
Is it any information that is confidential, Mr. Kanye?
Somehow.
we would ask that perhaps you give a statement to the investigators.
It's okay.
After this,
I will do
in
that.
respect to that period.
It's okay. I will do that.
Honorable Chair, if you permit, I would skip that period. Sakanya, I would then forward you to paragraph 4.
Yes.
Let's fast forward to 2017 to July 2017. The commission was set up. The Commission of Inquiry, known as the Jani Commission, was set up on the 12th day of July 2017. And from your account, you were not the holder of the position of general manager at that time.
Yes, that's correct.
However, during the course of that time, during the course of the commission's mandate, you came into contact with personnel from the commission.
That's 2019, I think. That was the, yes, period.
Are you certain it was 2019? Could it have been 2018?
No, I think it was 2019 after we submitted the assessment report to the Jani Commission.
So your statement says 2018 or 2019.
Yes.
Do you want to take 2019 as the definitive?
I want to take that, early part of 2019.
Okay. So, having paragraph 4 of your statement as a background, perhaps if you can do me the pleasure of reading the entire paragraph 4 and then explaining the contents of it and the events that transpired.
Okay. Paragraph 4 of my statement reads, in terms of my engagement with the Jani Commission, I was never formally invited as a witness. However, I did have a brief meeting with the lead counsel, Mrs. Ami Bensouda, sometime in either 2018 or 2019. I was accompanied by Mr. Khalifa Sise, the then head of our technical department. The meeting took place at a hotel, possibly Jembe Hotel, and I was focused on a proposal for GTSC to consider purchasing certain buses that reportedly belonged to the former president or State House.
So, Mr. Kanye, how was the contact made with the lead counsel? And of course, you have clarified in your statement that by lead counsel you mean Ms. Ami Bensouda.
That's correct? That's correct. Yes.
How was the contact initiated with Ms. Bensouda?
As I said in my statement, I was contacted by the commission through my technical director, Mr. Khalifa Sisi. How it was made to him, I wasn't very sure, but he verbally communicated to me that we were invited to a meeting by the lead counsel of the Jani Commission on these buses, as I stated in the statement.
And just to be unequivocally clear, there was no formal invitation to this meeting?
There was none.
And also, was there an agenda item, or did Mr. Khalifa tell you verbally what the agenda of this meeting would be? Rather, Mr. Sise?
Yes, I was informed about the essence of the meeting, which, as I said in my statement, was for GTSC to consider buying some of the buses that were under Jani Commission's custody.
So, to the best of your recollection, that was the main agenda item?
That was the main one.
For the GTSC to buy buses from the commission?
Yes.
The issue of valuation did not come up?
It did not come up. But what happened, we had done the valuation, as I said, or the valuation exercise started way back, or the engagement started on valuation way back in 2017, and GTSC concluded the assignment in November 2018. With the submission of the valuation report.
This meeting with the lead counsel post-dates the valuation process.
Yes.
In your experience, before I go there, actually, Mr. Kani, do you remember the month of the meeting by any chance?
I can't, but I want to believe it should be early 2019.
You don't recall any specific month?
Cannot recall, to be frank. I can't recall.
Would any records from your office show any minutes of the meeting, any notes that you took, guide you as to the date of that meeting?
No records were taken, no minutes taken. I think we were only myself, Mr. Khalifa Sisi, Mrs. Ami Bensouda, and another person. I think we were 4 in the room or in the office.
Do you recall who that person is?
I cannot.
Does Mr. Khalifa Sisi still work at the GTSC?
No, he is with another employer, but he is available.
Could you confirm the identity of the 4th person and communicate that to the investigators of
I can check that with him.
The committee?
Hopefully he will remember.
So just before I move on that meeting, aside from the fact that the commission wished for GTSC to purchase some buses, what else was discussed?
If I recall, that was the only one, and our position then was that we should be written to first, and then we assess the whole thing. But I hinted that it will be open conflict of interest, that GTSC assessed those buses that we are talking about purchasing, and it's not good that we should go near them to buy them. And that was the end of our engagement on this matter, and with the Jane Commission.
So aside from the fact that GTSC was involved in the valuation of the buses, is it usual for GTSC to buy items from other state institutions?
It could be normal, but I don't think we've ever done it. I can't remember, unless I forgot.
Something that has never been done is normal, Mr. Khan?
No, you said whether GTSC could buy something from state enterprises.
Yes.
I said it could be normal.
So it is normal for the commission to offer for sale buses to GTSC and GTSC buy?
As I said, if there was no conflict of interest.
Aside from the conflict of interest?
Yes.
The simple buying
in fact,
of buses?
It could have been an opportunity for GTSC if we had not been involved in the assessment.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Then we needed buses very badly. Yes.
So, when you were offered, you declined purchasing the buses on the basis that you were involved in the valuation of the buses?
Tacitly, because we made a condition that right to us first. So it was not a decline outright, but that was our condition. But there was no correspondence from the commission to us, and we said, well, that's the end of it.
Okay. Can I direct you to paragraph 6 of your statement?
Okay.
Can you read the first sentence?
As far as I'm aware, GTSC never received those buses despite our urgent need for fleet expansion at the time.
Continue.
Okay. I made a deliberate decision not to pursue that acquisition. Something...
That's fine. That's
okay.
The first sentence.
Okay.
After the comma, you said you made a deliberate decision not to pursue the acquisition. Mm-hmm. Can you give us context on?
Well, it's surrounding this issue of conflict of interest, that we cannot go near it because we assess them. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next paragraph of your statement. To the second sentence.
which starts with I also.
Yes. No. It starts with I was just resuming my role.
No, that's part of the first sentence, Council. It precedes, a comma precedes it, so I don't know. Okay, can I read that?
Please.
I was just resuming my role after a break. That's the end of the sentence.
Yes, continue.
Okay. I also do not remember seeing the valuation letter dated 16th November 2018 from my office, which was signed by Usman Juf, the then mechanical engineer, who reportedly signed on behalf of me. If any such letters were received at GTSC, I'm not aware of them. And if they had come through my office, I will typically have minuted it. So I've read minuted it, or minuted them for further action. However, I will check my records for such correspondences.
Mr. Kani, I would like to understand the fact that you were the general manager of this institution. I would assume that all correspondences would come through you.
Yes, that's
Nothing
correct.
would leave the four walls of GTSC unless you have signed off on it. Can you please guide the committee as to what may have occurred here? Was the said Mr. Juf, Mr. Usman Juf, operating as a rogue officer? Or did you delegate certain responsibility to him? Please guide the committee.
Okay. When I was first, let me call it, confronted by the investigators, that was the very letter that I read about was shown to me. And I did not remember at that point that I ever saw it or ever directed Mr. Juf and team to work on it. But when I returned to my office, I was able to dig through our records these same copies plus others. And I think I later remember that yes, we were indeed involved, or GTSC was indeed involved in this whole exercise under my authority. And I did assign Mr. Khalifa Sise and Usman and team to carry out that assessment and valuation exercise of the ex-president's vehicles. So Mr. Yu did not write anything as a rogue officer, also it was written based on authority from General Manager's office.
So you indeed confirm that you gave this authority to Mr. Juf?
Very well.
And how was this signified? Were there any minutes on the document? How was the authority conferred onto Mr. Juf?
I think it was a developing activity or exercise. On one of them, I think I called a meeting of the team. This was when we were about to start the exercise, based on the reminder sent from the commission, signed by the then secretary or the secretary of the commission. I will refer to the letter dated 23rd of January 2018, when I called a meeting of my officials. Their designations or acronyms are written on top.
Sure.
I think you have a copy, which is CE, Chief Engineer, which was Khalifa Sise, Head of Traffic Operations, and others is cut here. But that would have included Mr. Juf, who was immediate assistant to Mr. Khalifa Sise. So after the meeting, they were instructed to carry out, to comply with the request from the Jane Commission. So the exercise kicked off from that date until October 2018.
Okay. And when GTSC, before I actually move on, is it a normal occurrence for GTSC to assist with the valuation of buses?
Well, there are few bus owners or bus operators in the Gambia.
Yes.
I can say GTSC has been the largest bus operator, whether private or public use. So naturally, we have the expertise in managing bosses or assessing them and knowing their conditions and advising on their well-being or health. So it was natural that we were the only, let me call it, competent institution to be approached by the Jane Commission. And sometimes, up to today, some bus owners, whether the government institutions or so, will send their buses for us for assessment and maintenance or servicing. So it's normal.
And when these valuations are made, they're made as an institution, not through or by individual officers of the institution, correct?
Yes, as an institution.
Okay. Let's proceed on to the letter dated the 7th of December 2017.
Okay.
It was a letter received by, or rather a letter that was issued by the Jane Commission through the hand of the Secretary.
Okay. He's here with me.
Do you recall this letter?
No, I was out of office then.
Can you read the first paragraph of this letter?
The Commission of an Inquiry has identified at least 26 buses presently stationed at various locations, including State House, Banjul, State House, Fajara, Future Lake Building, Kotu, and the Maintenance Services Agency in Kotu. The whole letter, Council?
And no, for now, that's fine for now.
Thank you.
The letter makes reference to 26 buses.
Yes, Council.
Eventually, once you resumed office, did you, once the exercise of the valuation of the buses commenced, did you take an inventory of the buses?
Actually, the numbers developed to something else. My team assessed 70 vehicles in total, most of them buses and few trucks. So it's not actually 26. And the locations also in this letter did not include Kanilai, but my team also visited Kanilai to assess some of the vehicles. So it was a total of 70 that were assessed and not 26.
And when your team go on such operations, do they document their activities? Is there any activity report from these exercises?
Not in very organized form, but they will jot down some notes and assess individual vehicles based on their specific conditions, then come and tabulate them according to their observation and assessment.
Okay, we will get back to the activity in a bit. However, I would like us to proceed to the next paragraph. Kindly read out the next paragraph.
Further to discussions between Commission, Council, and Mr. Habib Drame, the Commission has appointed your company to carry out a comprehensive survey of the buses with a view to determining their state, including roadworthiness and approximate value, and submit a report to the Commission.
Now, Mr. Kani, you have already mentioned that you were not the office holder in this in this relevant period.
Yes, that's correct.
And you had further mentioned that it was one Mr. Habib Drame that was the office holder.
Yes, Council.
Is that the same Habib Drame that is referred to in this letter?
The same Mr. Drame. Yes, Council.
After you resumed office, when you were reinstated, where was Mr. Drame
he was
reinstated to, or
he was
or
then
to?
serving as Minister of Interior during this period when I was reinstated.
Okay. I would like you to take note of what the commission was requesting from GTSC.
Okay.
And that would be entailed in the last line.
Okay.
To determine the state, that which would include the road worthiness and approximate value of each bus, and to submit a report to the commission. So I would like you to just keep that in mind.
Okay.
We will get to that later.
No problem.
Let's move to the letter dated the 23rd of January 2018.
It's here with me, Council.
By this time, you had resumed office.
Yes, just 3 weeks into my resumption, or after my resumption.
And this letter made reference to the letter of the 7th December 2017 that we just read.
That's correct.
Can you please guide the committee on the circumstances around this letter and what actions you may have taken subsequently?
I think what happened, as I said before, that when the first letter was written to us on 7th of December, I don't know whether Mr. Dame was in office or shortly after his appointment that the letter was received by GTSC. So there was no action taken until when we received this reminder, letter reminder dated 23rd January 2018. I received this letter, and on top of the letter is my own writings minuted to my team to have a meeting with them on a particular day. It's a bit cut, but it's a Thursday, the Thursday after the 23rd. So I received the letter very day 23rd, and Thursday after that I had a meeting with my team. The essence of the meeting, if I recall well, was to ensure that we comply, and we did comply and carried out the exercise.
And attached to this letter was an order from the Janneh Commission.
Yes, I've seen it here.
Look at paragraph 2 of that order. That should be the last paragraph on the first page.
Oh, okay.
Could you read it out for the record?
Yes, it reads, the Gambia Transport Services Company Limited is hereby appointed to carry out a comprehensive assessment of all buses to determine their state, including roadworthiness and approximate value, and submit a report to the Commission.
Can you turn the page and read paragraph 3 as well, just for the record?
The Secretary to the Commission shall engage an expert approved by the Commission to assess the value or assess the status of the rest of the vehicles, including the luxury vehicles mentioned in paragraph 11B above, and their current value in readiness for their disposal, and to also advise on the best way of disposing of same.
So it was clear to your office that these buses were being valued for the purposes of sale?
Yes.
Okay, let's turn to your letter of the 6th day of February 2018. It is not a letter from your company, but rather a letter from the commander, rather the controller of government vehicles to the commander, State Guard, State House.
Okay, I've seen this here.
It is part of your submissions.
Yes, Council.
Could you explain this letter? Just guide the committee on the contents of this letter.
That's a letter dated 6th February 2018 that my office received from the controller of government vehicles, Mr. Farmara, Superintendent Farmara Sediba, with his signature, well, signed for him or with his signature, and it was dated 6th of February, but we received it on the 20, well, my minutes on it is dated 27th of March. That's what I want to believe it was the start of our exercise. Just to give clearance to GTSC team. To have.
Can you read out the year? 27th of March, what year?
2018.
Proceed.
Yes, the essence of the letter is to instruct or inform the Commander, State Guard, State House, Banjul, to give access to GTSC team, technical team, to assess the buses and trucks parked at State House, specifically the buses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, if you turn to the letter dated the 17th of October 2018, it seems 10 months later, your company had responded to the letter dated the 7th of December 2017 from the commission.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there?
Yes.
Chair, for the purposes of the committee, that is GTSC 7, can you briefly just explain the contents of that letter?
This letter from GTSC, signed for General Manager and signed by Mr. Khalifa Cisse, was to send message to the commission, the Ghana Commission, about GTSC's readiness to comply with the request or instruction to assess the buses and trucks belonging to the former president. And it went further to identify the number in the technical team to be carrying out the assessment. That is three technicians.
And who were those 3 technicians?
Mr. Khalifa Cisse was the head, and Mr. Usman Diouf was a member, and Mr. Dembo Jawara was another member, assisted by a clerk who was taking the records.
So there were 4 people that accompanied the team from the commission?
That carried out the exercise, but 3 technicians of the 4.
Who is the 4th person?
Salimata Drame. She was our engineering clerk at that time.
Okay, let's make progress. Look at the letter dated the 16th of November. That should be the last correspondence by your submission.
Yes, it's here with me as well.
This is a letter that submits the report, assumably after the activity.
Correct, Council.
And this letter was submitted by one Mr. Juf on your behalf.
That's correct.
I am interested in 2 particular paragraphs of this letter. However, I would give you the opportunity of explaining the contents of the letter to the committee and for the record.
This letter dated 16th November 2018, I would call it CAPS. CAPS, our exercise on the assessment and valuation of the vehicles. It marks the end of our engagement with the Ghana Commission based on their request. It was authored under instruction by Mr. Juf on behalf of the company, and attached to it was a report on all the 70 vehicles that were assessed by GTSC technical team, assessed from scratch to the end, and then market values were attached to each of the individual vehicles assessed.
Is that it, Mr. Kai?
Yes.
All right, so my particular interest, and perhaps you can help the committee in this regard, if you could read out the 3rd paragraph of this letter.
Third one, the shortest one.
Yes.
Which reads, all concerned vehicles were assessed in accordance with Unit B vehicle assessment methodology.
Could you explain what Unit B vehicle assessment methodology is?
Okay, I'll give it a layman's definition. It's a technical term, but working in that industry, at least I can say a word or 2 on it. It's actually a method where a vehicle is assessed, as I said, from scratch, in all aspects, mechanical fitness or suitability, and the undercarriage, the suspension, brake system, everything, the comfort, the upholstery, total assessment, leaving nothing out. And then at the end of it all, you come up with a value based on the market rate. Basically, that's Unit B. It's like a comprehensive assessment. If we can use anything like a CT scan for the vehicle, that's the meaning of the exercise. You don't leave anything out. Any scratch on the pens, any dents, any missing parts, whether it's movable, drivable or not, everything about it.
So essentially, this valuation is very buyer friendly.
Very thorough.
Yes.
Very thorough, and it's buyer or owner friendly. It tells the buyer and the owner the complete state of the vehicle,
the complete value of the...
Exactly.
Great. Also help with the explanation of the contents of the next paragraph. Perhaps you can read it out and I will specify exactly what clarifications I need.
Based on the findings of the aggregate inspection, vehicles were valued on different cost scenarios in line with each vehicle's current mechanical status and with reference to current parallel market face value. It's actually FA, it should read FACE for the records, face value of same standard vehicles.
Right, just as you did for the Unit B assessment methodology, please explain the different cost scenarios and valuation by the parallel face value.
When the vehicles were, during the inspection of these 70 vehicles, it was observed that most of them were, okay, the team established their different or respective years of manufacture. That's one major determinant of valuing a vehicle, age of the vehicle. And out of the 70, I think the oldest among them was in 1997. That means in 2018 it was 21 years old. And the others range from 2000, 2001, but the majority of them, about 50 of them, were manufactured between 2002 and 2007, the 4-year span, about 50 of the 70. And the newest among the 70 was a 2011 make. It was manufactured in 2011. And normally vehicles are depreciated at a rate of 20–25%. But for us, being bus operators, normally we advise that they are depreciated at 20% per annum. And as I said, depreciating that at that rate, by the 5th year, the value in the books will have been 0, but doesn't mean that they don't have any value in the market. So based on their book values, it was literally 0, but they had market value. So my team went that extra mile to attach some values to them based on the current market rate, which I think anybody can have access to if you are involved in either purchase of vehicles, one form or the other. So these were established, and but they also checked whether those vehicles will be sold as they were, but most of them, with exception of 1 or 2 of few, very few, had issues. Some of them are very serious issues that will be as good as scrap vehicles. Some of them will need some repairs, major or minor. So market values were established for each one of the vehicles, and that's what we submitted to Journey Commission.
Great. So attached to this letter are a series of valuations for each and every one of the 70 buses that were looked at by your company.
That's correct, Councillor.
Now, I would like that you bring the same technical mindset you had offered in guidance to this committee for the preceding 2 letters to this valuation. Please guide us as much as possible as to the content and methodology of this valuation. However, before we do that, you had mentioned that the oldest vehicle in the fleet was a vehicle as old as 97, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember the latest?
It's a 2011 model. 2011. It's part of the pages are not numbered, so we'll have to sift through the pages to.
That's all right. You need not
Yes.
do that at this moment.
Okay.
Another clarification is when you're doing your valuation, you mentioned there is a book value, and the book value has a lifespan of 5 years, correct?
Yes.
Is that applicable for all buses?
Generally. Vehicles generally. Vehicles generally. Yes.
So, if the committee secretariat could guide you on, let's look at a few samples of the valuations.
Okay.
Committee, could you guide the witness on the valuation assessment on a vehicle that the make is International Bluebird? It was manufactured in 2003. If we could use this as our basis for you to guide this committee on every aspect of the valuation,
Okay.
such as to inform the committee to understand the content of this.
We have several of them, so is it the first page or?
The first page.
Okay.
Can you,
Okay.
what is the value of the
Yes.
vehicle? Is it 462,000
Yes, this
with a
particular-
cost of 38,000?
Okay, let me come.
Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
All right.
Okay. This particular vehicle is a Bluebird. Is International Bluebird. It's like those long buses with protruded nose. I think you see those such bus types in the West as school buses, particularly. I think our army has few of them. They still use few of them, 1 or 2. I could see them in traffic. They were the buses one time operated by a transport company before GTSC came into being called UTSCO, UTSCO, United Transport Service Company. They were one of those buses, but the buses did not last long. They were all parked, mainly at Kotu Workshop. Most of them were parked at Kotu Workshop. And this particular bus has its...
When you say Kotu Workshop, which...
they
Can you
call
be
it
specific?
Maintenance Services Agency. Some call it Kotu Central Workshop.
Thank you. Proceed.
Yes. Not far from the Navek power station. And this particular vehicle was made in 2003. So at point of assessment, it was 15 years old. So naturally, going by the book value, it was 0. It has lived for more than 5 years, based on the 20% depreciation rate. Notwithstanding, however scrap it was, it will attract some value in the market, whether the steel or the aluminium content or all whatnot. And it was assessed, and my team observed that it had a missing battery or missing batteries. Normally they have 2 or 4 or 5 batteries, these are large vehicles. It was valued, the missing batteries were costed at $18,000, and it has a broken front glass door, which was valued at $20,000. So if these two had not been issues with the bus, it would have been valued at $500,000, despite its age. And subtracting the cost of those missing or problematic issues, that is the batteries and the broken glass doors, the net value, market value, went to $462,000.
So essentially, you place a value of the vehicle at the time of manufacture, which would be the 500,000.
No. At time of manufacture, it would have been several millions.
Okay.
But as I said, it's 15 years at point of valuation. 2003 to 2018 is 15 years.
So what does the 500,000 signify?
That's the market value.
The market value at
Yes.
the time.
Yes. Yes.
With account of all the year, the fact that it has a lapse of the book value 3 times over.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
And then after you get the market value, you subtract all the anomalies.
The exact cost of adjustments,
The cost
repairs,
of
and
it
so on.
to get it back to the road.
Net market value.
Okay.
Yes.
And then that's when you then get the figure of 462,000.
Exactly.
All right. Let's just do the same for another bus. This one is a VDL bus. It's made in Belgium and it was manufactured. The manufacture date is not applicable, but it was given a cost of 2.6
Okay.
and a value of 4.5. I would ask the Secretariat to assist you if
Council,
you cannot.
can you possibly guide us? Where are you reading from?
This is all in the valuation report.
The one that we are having.
Yes, indeed.
Is it this one?
Okay.
It's here. Yes. Yes. I've seen it. Okay. 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 I've seen it.
And the other one will be this one. Maybe you can guess. This one, the costs cannot come to, I don't know, what the scrap value is 60,000, 65.
Okay.
These are the three that we.
Okay. It's okay. I've seen this one.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to.
There's scrap and the value is 60,000.
Okay. What level is it? Deep inside the page?
Perhaps you could be better guided by the MOJ set. It's MOJ 8A1.
I'm looking at it's the lowest value.
87.
I remember that, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm checking that, yes. It's here.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Mr. Kanye, if we could just do a similar assessment of this so as to guide the committee on the basis and nature of assessment
Okay.
or evaluation.
So this particular vehicle or bus as a brand is VDL. It's a European brand. The main manufacturing plant is in Belgium. It's actually, they call it Vehicle d'Afleland. That's the meaning of VDL. Vehicle d'Afleland. Year of manufacture is absent, but it's clicking to me. I want to say for the records that this might be a 2011-12 model. A 2011 or 12 model. Because at GTSC level, we were one time engaged in VDL for supply of buses to GTSC, but that did not materialize. And I recall 1 or 2 were given to Office of the President during that time for use as samples for Gambia to appreciate the quality of the vehicles. So as a point of assessment in 2018 February, the vehicle was valued at $4.5 million market value. But as you could see in the breakdown of the defects, let me call them defects, that the engine has gone. The engine is defective. You call it completely out. It has a faulty engine, non-functional engine. And with any vehicle that has a malfunctioning engine, that will require you to scrap the engine. It will normally lose half of its value. Any vehicle, if the engine is out, then it's as good as half good. Yes, it's like a dead vehicle. And then in the assessment of my technical team of this particular vehicle, they detected that the missing key, the ignition key was missing. That's where you start the engine with. which was costed at 20,000, plus the engine costed at 2.5 million. And they said the technical team assessed that the particular vehicle is actually worn out beyond limits. You can call it beyond repairs, but it will have certain valuable elements that if you sell it as scrap, most of these vehicles have a lot of aluminum and copper content, and that's very valuable scrap item that any scrap dealer will jump at. So the team came with a net value of 1.89 million as against the market value of 4.5, taking into account the defects, which totaled $2.61 million.
All right, I would allow the committee to probe you more on their understanding of the valuation report. Just a few more questions from me. If the committee secretariat could guide the witness on the valuation report that has not applicable in several columns of its costs column. Are you, can you see it?
For the last one. Okay. Okay. That's
it has an overall value of 60,000.
I've seen it.
For the guidance of the committee.
Can I proceed?
Chair, can we proceed? Or would the committee like to trace the document? It is MOJA 32. Can you take us through this particular?
Yeah. This particular vehicle or bus with brand Volvo, again it's another European brand, one of the top brands in the bus industry, and the type is a city bus. Those are the buses that are low floor and provision for less sitting and more standing. Based on the assessment of my technical team, the vehicle is like, it was found as a scrap bus with almost every aspect, from engine to brake, steering, electrical system, suspension, the condition of the tires, and the general body condition and the transmission, all with issues. In fact, generally requiring replacement or repairs. And assuming these things did not happen to the bus, it would have been valued.
Counsel.
Yes.
Is the witness reading the one you're talking about? You said
we're getting to that.
Okay.
Honorable. Indeed, MOJA 32. Is it a Bluebird?
No, Volvo.
No, you're reading a different document. Secretariat, can you please assist?
Okay.
a scrap value of 60,000, different from this?
I'm not sure. I need to check.
Because the one they are referring.
Which brand is that?
Yes.
It's Volvo also.
Yes.
There's another one here. No, no, no. Wait, there's another one here.
Secretariat, if you could use this copy.
Looks like there is a duplication here. I don't know. Yeah.
What is the mark model there? Do you see?
With serial number. Serial number. No, it's different. No, maybe
If you could use that copy,
No, just use this one.
Mr. Kanye, so that we can gain time.
okay.
Before you proceed, actually, could you read out the chassis number slowly and carefully?
Okay, it's IBA KFC KA 17 F2 40609.
Yes, indeed. Now, continue with your assessment.
Okay. This particular bus Bluebird was also assessed. Year of manufacture not available. It was assessed in February 2018, and going by the observations, almost every aspect of this particular vehicle was not available for assessment. Like there was no engine, no brake system. It's like an empty aluminum or steel box. Yes, everything about it, whether the engine, the brakes, the steering, the electrical wiring or the system, the shock absorbers, tires, seats, all taken away. The gearbox, transmission, everything taken away. So the team described it as good as just a scrap. So I say some of them are aluminum and or good steel or brass or copper, which normally there is a weight or a price attached to it in dollar terms based on its weight. The team assessed it at $60,000 based on the fact that it's an empty steel or aluminum box, no other thing. So the only thing it's good for is scrap, valued at $60,000, and that the weight was estimated to be around 15 tons. Yes.
Okay. Before we proceed, I would like to understand your protocol in your company with regards to documents. Once a valuation like this is proffered to an institution that requested for it, is there any way that you safeguard or authenticate your documents to say indeed that this is coming from you? Aside from, of course, the cover letter.
Generally, we do.
And how is that done?
We usually have meetings over this thing before we submit them to external or clients or so, just to confirm.
So aside from the heading stating Gambia Transport Services Company, is there any other element in these valuations that authenticates each single valuation on its own?
Say that again? Maybe.
If a third party were to pluck out one of these valuations, how would they know that it indeed emanates from the Gambia Transport Service Company?
You will have our own records with us. as counter copies. So that's one source of confirming that is indeed from us, carried out by my technical team.
And when you're submitting to other institutions, do you submit hard copies or soft copies?
Hard copies.
Do you ever submit soft copies?
But only, I think, in the case of Usman, hard copy was submitted here.
For all your submissions?
Generally, yes.
Not just to Parliament, but to other institutions?
Yes. Unless, if it is requested, they want a soft copy, then we protect it with either PDF or something, just to ensure that it's not edited.
Was it ever requested, a soft copy?
No.
No soft copy was requested?
No.
All right, I would like you to contrast the document before you, which is part of your submissions, and MOJ 8A32. Secretariat, if you could assist the witness. So can we look at the documents together?
Okay.
There is a heading on both documents, right?
Yes, Council.
The heading tallies.
Yes.
And what is the heading?
Gambia Transport Service Company.
And you confirm that both documents have the same heading?
Yes, the same.
Okay. And then it has a subheading.
Yes,
Are they the same?
Vehicle assessment stroke valuation. Yes, the same.
Same on both documents?
Yes.
On the document submitted by your company, GTSC?
Yes.
And the document submitted by the Ministry of Justice? Correct?
Okay, this is from Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Okay.
Are they the same?
That is it.
Heading, at least.
Yes.
Then both of them have two tables, but we start with the first one. Actually, three tables. We start with the first one. Explain the first or second item. The first item, who is the customer?
Journey Commission, Journey Commission.
The same.
Yes.
What is the vehicle make on both of them?
Bluebird, Bluebird.
What is the session number on both of them? You can take your time to read it out and confirm they are the same on each document, and then confirm or deny, and then read out each of them.
The one on my left, that's what I believe is from us. Is that correct? Yes. SASI number is IBA KFCKA17 F240 609.
Can you read the one on your right?
It's the same.
You confirm that it's the same?
Yes, Council.
Let's fast forward to the date.
15th of February 2018 on both of them.
Let's fast forward now to the observations column.
Okay.
Engine condition. What is the observation?
Missing on both of them.
What is the appropriate cost?
On the one, I would say from us, not applicable, at that whole column is not applicable throughout.
Every single column is not applicable?
Yes.
What about on the document submitted by MOJ?
Blank.
It is blank?
Yes.
So essentially they're the same document, but they are not the same document. Are you confirming that?
Yes.
Which one does your company take responsibility for?
The one we submitted to the commission, through Mr. Youth, and recently through him to Mr. Doumbia.
Can you explain away the reasons for their discrepancies?
Well, this is not from us, so I don't know how it came about.
You could say no if you wish. Can you explain the discrepancies?
I cannot.
You cannot?
I cannot.
Again, I ask, at any point, did any institution request for soft copies of your valuation reports? And do you recall submitting any soft copies of such reports?
I cannot remember.
Do you agree with me that the discrepancy is a very loud discrepancy? It is indeed an anomaly?
Subjective, but for me, as long as it did not change the final value, a blank could be as good as not applicable. Yes, so I don't see it as very serious.
You don't see the discrepancy in documents as very serious?
So for me, my the intention is, if the value remains the same, then the message is
Yes, as
virtually
a
the same.
technician, you're focused on the content.
Yes.
I am focused on the form
Okay.
of the document.
Okay.
And this is why I asked whether you had shared any soft copies of these documents with any institution.
I cannot recall any institution requesting for soft copy from us.
Is there another variation of your reports?
Another variation.
Yes, perhaps one that might not have the column filled out for approximate costs?
Not to my knowledge, Council. Not to my knowledge.
Thank you. I would leave the rest to the committee.
Okay.
Honorable Chair, your witness.
All right, thank you so much, Council. Straight, Mr. Kanye?
Yes, Chair.
Yes. Before I hand you over to my colleagues, maybe a few clarification with the assessment. I don't know if this is the standard way of doing vehicle assessment. I mean, leaving some information outside the assessment form. Maybe this is the standard form. I don't know. I'm just asking. But I've seen that some things are missing in the information. Perhaps these are bosses, and bosses in nature are commercial. Isn't that right?
Sometimes they can be for private use as
Private
well.
use as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but these bosses were mainly commercial.
The bluebirds mainly.
Mainly.
Yes.
And could you confirm if they are mini bosses or, because we haven't seen that whether they are mini bosses or bigger ones?
All the bluebirds are large buses.
Large bosses.
Yes, as I said, they were the ones used by the defunct
Okay.
transport company, Youth School, before.
I would confirm that, like large bosses, normally if you're doing an assessment, is it also appropriate to mention the capacity of the boss? Is that applicable? Because then people want to know, if it is for commercial purposes, what is the capacity of the boss to determine whether, even if it is a scrap, but at least you need to know the capacity. For example, now if the boss is not scrap, to determine the value of the boss, you should also know the capacity so that you can determine what price is attached to the boss. So that is missing in the whole assessment. I don't know if that is normal.
I agree, Chairman. That's an important ingredient.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's fine. I'll hand you over to my colleagues for more questions. Honorable, you can start.
Thank you very much, Chair. Witness, I'm just interested to know whether the GTSU was just appointed, contracted to do this work, or whether it was advertised, and then the GTSU applied. What really happened? You were just handpicked to do the valuation.
We were identified by the Journey Commission to carry out the exercise. As I said before, we are the largest users or operators of buses in the country.
Yeah.
So by default, anything dealing with buses, we are call it the last resort. Yes, so that's how it was advertised.
It was not advertised.
It was not.
Yes, also when you look at the valuation, you will notice that several buses that are almost the same end up having the same amount,
Okay.
final amount. For example, you have chassis number FBBCU 2030 2790, that is 76, end up being sold at 76, or valued at 76,000. And then you have chassis number FBBCU 2030 1410, also valued at 76,000. The same thing with chassis number 2030 2700. The same thing with 2030 3570, 76,000. The same thing with 2030 3570, 76,000. The same thing with 2030 1405, 76,000, and so on. So I just cannot understand how, is this a coincidence or is really a good evaluation that is done there, in your opinion?
However, I need to refer to all of them, so bear with me. I don't know. Well, my quick answer will be, if their conditions are almost the same, they have the same age, they can attract the same value. Yes.
They can do this. Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking at one here with the one that has SASI number ending at 2255. Is that one of the ones you are citing as an example?
2255.
Bluebird. I'm seeing it valued at.
Well, I did not take all of them.
Oh,
I just
okay.
I just took few.
Okay.
But I see a lot of them ending up being sold at or valued at 76,000.
Yeah, because I'm looking at only two here, different chassis numbers, but the same bus type, same year of manufacture, virtually the same problems. Engine condition, needing repairs or whatever, adjustment at cost of 150,000, and steering condition costed at 22,000, the same, and then the battery starter and alternator missing, costed at 30,000, the same, and the front and spare tires missing, valued at 72,000, and then the gearbox missing or needs some replacement, costed at 100,000. Yes, so their total in terms of defects to fix it amounts to 374,000 each, and then the market value without the defects for both of them is 400,000, and then subtracting whatever total will give you 76,000. That's what we have.
So it's not just done off head, but it's actually, valuation is actually done.
Every individual. Mr. Youth and team were on the ground for several months.
Yes.
The exercise.
Okay. Thank you. I want to also know, the vehicles categorized at State House, ones in Feature Lake, the others at Kotu. How many were at State House, how many were at Feature Lake, etc.? Did you do the categorization?
No, but dates could guide us. I want to believe those that were in Kanila were assessed later part of the year, which was maybe October, September or so of 2018. And those with dates of February, March or so, I want to believe, I stand to be correct, I can contact Mr. Youth, those who are on the ground. We are the ones around Greater Banjul area. That is Banjul, Feature Lake, Kotu, and the environment.
Okay. Yes, also in your write-up, point 9, it says GTSU conducts vehicle valuation, and we have staff with formal training in automotive engineering who are sometimes engaged by third parties, including banks, for valuation purposes. However, I am not aware of any officially certified valuers in that field within the Gambia. Generally, someone with a higher diploma or degree in automotive engineering for institution. My question is whether the commission, well, that's the same question that I was to ask there, but you've dealt with that. Okay. And then whether you can tell us the type and model of the buses belonging to the former president and those that belong to GTSU. What is the difference between the buses that GTU operates and the ones that belong to the former president? Are they completely different?
Well, they are all buses, of course, brands being different. The former president used for the buses being assessed by my team belonging to the former president. We are also multi-variety brands. Bluebird, Volvo, Mercedes, and others. So it's also various types. And GTSC, we are using mainly brands from India, China, and Brazil, and Europe. India, they are Tata, Ashok Leyland buses. China, Photon buses. And we have some few Mercedes. And yes, few Mercedes. So mainly this one. But mainly technology is virtually the same. And we do also render service to bus owners whose brands we are not operating because of the expertise. Just for the records, I have staff working at GTSC who were working with GPTC before several years. Then they were using MAN buses, European brand, Leyland buses, and Volvo as well. So the expertise is still there. Yes,
so it means that this, the parts of these buses can be taken by other buses that are operating in GTSU or in other private places? GTSC?
We are a company, very reputable. We will not be into such. We will not be.
No, I'm just asking whether they can take each other.
No, they are not compatible.
They are not compatible.
They are not compatible. They are not.
What about private buses that are operating in the country? Are they compatible to that?
Maybe, unless you modify them. You modify them.
Yes. Because I'm wondering why the parts are being missed. Why are they getting lost?
Sometimes some will sell them as scrap. For example, an alternator that has a lot of copper in it. Copper is very valuable in weight. You dismantle it, you weigh it, however, whatever kilos you have a lot of dialysis from it. So that's just one example.
No, I'm talking about engines. For example, you have engines that are missing. From your reading, engines are being missed. I cannot understand how you can remove a whole engine, which is heavy.
Engines, so most of them are made of aluminium. And it's valuable as well. Yes, it's valuable.
Okay. Yes, in the letter dated 17th October 2018, when you were discussing with Consul, in response to the request for assessment of vehicles, it took 10 months for you to respond. Why did it take that long for you to respond to the request?
Later dated
17th October 2018, I believe. He was telling you that it took something like 10 months for you to respond.
I think what happened
when they made a request for you to do the assessment.
Yes, what I remembered was that we had difficulty accessing some of those areas. So we had to wait for the Jade Commission to clear the way for my team to go to those areas. Yes.
Okay. So when you say they were cannibalized, heavily cannibalized, and these vehicles are parked at State House, do you have any idea how this cannibalization could take place?
I'm not sure whether the cannibalized vehicles were the ones at the State House, which I believe will be difficult to do.
Some of them are at the State House, but if you look at the records, you see that almost all vehicles, whether they are coming from State House or anywhere, they are being cannibalized.
Yes. Yes.
So even at State House, they cannibalize vehicles.
Well, it's a possibility, but I'm saying it's a remote possibility at State House. But maybe other stations like the Kotu Central Workshop and other areas. That's a possibility. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, witness. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes? There you go.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Kanye.
Thank you, Honorable.
Mr. Kanye, just going to your statement on paragraph 4. Your meeting with the lead counsel. Was this meeting before the evaluation or after the evaluation?
So this will be after the evaluation. I think I corrected that to say the meeting must have taken place in early 2019.
2019.
Yeah, that will be months after submission of the evaluation report.
Looking at your on GTSC 8 about the assessment report, it was in 2018.
November 2018.
Yes.
Yes.
And this meeting was in 2019.
Yes.
And the reason for the meeting was what? Was based on what?
It was about us possibly looking at buying the buses we assessed.
The buses you assessed?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kanye, let's go through your valuation report. When you talk about 25%, but vehicle valued after a year of depreciation at 25%. This 25%, is it yearly or a global figure that you use for the whole stock?
It's yearly. It ranges based on what you are looking for. In some companies, some use 20%. Some use, generally in Gambia, people use 25%.
In your own case, you are using 25%.
Yes.
So let's look at this one arithmetically and then come to look at the final figure. I mean, let's say on page, this is Scania, or let's say the Ibico one.
Page is not numbered.
8A5. 8A5.
Honorable Chair, the discrepancy is that the witness has submitted valuation reports and MOJ has also submitted the same valuation reports. Perhaps if the committee secretariat could afford the witness with the MOJ submission, then he would be able to follow.
Ibico. 5. Ibico. 2.3.
And for the record, Mr. Kani, the Honorable asked you if the depreciation rate was 25% or 20%. You mentioned 25 to him, but you earlier mentioned 20 to me. So you perhaps could clarify that because the document states 20.
Document said 20. Well, as I said, it varies. So depending on what you are looking for, you could use 20, you could use 25%. Yes.
Are you there, Mr. Kanye?
Yes, Honorable.
Okay, like, I mean, the initial sale value was 4 million.
Okay.
And then if you look at 25% of 4 million, it's how much?
No. Honorable, let me, this was its year of manufacture It's 2011.
2011, yes.
And at point of assessment, it was already 7 years old. So using whatever percentage, either 20 or 25%, its book value would. Yes, so the 4 million is as at 2018, the market value.
As at 2018?
Yes.
That was the market value?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a top brand bus, is a European brand, and look at the description, is a luxury coach.
I'm interested on the percentage. If you calculate on percentage wise, how are we able to come to 1.6?
No, it's not about the percentage. No.
So what about 1.6?
Let me check properly, please. Just a minute, Honorable. I need to recheck this, Honorable. I need to recheck this properly.
Because if you look at, if you go to the other page also, on 6.
Yes. You're on track. Maybe I can help you. Don't move from there. Okay? Let me help you. If you look at it, your annual depreciation should have been 20%. That's your rate. Are you using 20% or 25%? 25 is what is there?
Yes.
Then good luck. Thank you.
Yes, I've seen it.
And if you go to the other one also, on 8A, it's the same problem again.
Yes.
Because you have 4 million, and 25% of 4 million is about $1 million. And you're repeating the same figure again at 1.6. And the year of manufacture for this one was
2010.
2010, and the other one was 2011. So 1 year older than the other one. And yet still, you still have the same figures. What are you telling us here?
Yeah, as I said, I need to check this properly. Let me be back to you. If that is okay with the committee.
Yeah. What are you saying here?
When do you want to get back to the committee, Mr. Kanye? You want us to give you like 10 minutes or so?
Maybe 30 minutes or so.
30
if that
minutes.
is not too long.
No, it's okay. We all wanted the answer.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what we will do then, yes, I think what we can do, lead counsel. I want to grant him that 30 minutes to go through and get back to the honorable member. So that being the case, I think we can stand down.
Honorable, I would advise that, unfortunately, Honorable.
Very well. So the honorable member will skip that, continue his questioning. Then we'll come back to that where we can give you time to.
Honorable Chair, I would like to direct your mind to the fact that we have another witness scheduled for the afternoon session, and if we are to give this witness 30 minutes, it goes into the lunch break, which goes into the other witness. So perhaps that can be part of your deliberations in considering the time given to the witness.
What we are going to do now is, we are selfing that now, so the honorable member will skip this question, and he continues. When he is done, others will also continue. When we are done, then we can allow him to go through and come back. We could have, we'll see how we might get when we get there. So for now, honorable member, can you skip and continue?
But Chair, my only point here is, if you allow him to continue, from there to give him 30 minutes again, it's like you have to come back again to respond to this question. It might take a while because this is an opener for me. I don't know why I'm asking this question to him, because if you look at the valuation, if I don't have an error here, it means the whole valuation was wrong. It wasn't properly done. So compared to what I'm seeing here, it's like there's a problem. So what do you want? So if at all, I mean, he wants to give us to give him 30 minutes, it's like he's going to respond back after the session, or what?
No, what we are saying now is, you skip this question. If you can do that, fine. Then you take your next following questions. Then we come back to this particular question.
Okay, Chair, what I will do is, I will, want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something. Okay. Yes, Chair, with your permission, for me, I think the witness have an answer to his question.
Honorable Chair, if I could
answer, please, a minute. Please. My feelings are the witness has an answer to the question the member asked. It's either for the witness to tell us the figures that are inputted are wrong, or he will go and correct it. But for me, he knew the answer. Let him just give us the answer, we move on. It's already wrong. He cannot go there, correct it, come back, tell us these are the correct figures.
Answer? Okay.
No, me, I have questions. Not on this, I have questions.
Counsel, yes, you were going to say something.
It's fine, it has been overtaken by events.
Witness,
yes,
what's your position on that? Can you provide the answer now?
No, I cannot. I need to consult my, let me call it accountants.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't have an answer to this now. This is why I said, give me a little bit of time to get back to the committee if it is acceptable.
Yes, you don't have.
Yes.
Okay. We'll take it from that. That answer to committee. Let's take that. The decision will be hours later.
Chair, thank you very much for the decision taken by you. I think I will stop here and then allow others to ask, because I have many questions with regards to this valuation. So as far as there are no answers available now, so let me give the baton to other person to come up with their own questions. Thank you.
At this point, I'll hand the chair back to the chair of the committee.
Thank you. Okay, Honorable Professor, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mr. Kanye.
Thank you, Honorable.
Mr. Kanye, I will refer you to MOJ 8A2.
8A2.
Yes.
This one, okay. Okay, Honorable.
Yes. Let's lay some background. We have the customer name. You have seen it.
Yes, I've seen it.
We have the vehicle make, the chassis number, the model. We have the year of manufacture. The date, that date, what does it mean?
Date assessment was made on the particular vehicle.
That's the assessment date, huh?
Yes.
The year strictly is the year of manufacture, not so?
Indeed.
Perfect. What was the year of purchase of this particular vehicle?
We did not know that. We did not know.
You did not know the year of acquisition?
No.
How were you depreciating them to establish your sales value?
No, the moment you know the year of make.
That's absolutely wrong. Depreciation at the end of the day is based on the date of acquisition. Depreciation is an accounting value. When an organization buys an asset, as at the date of acquisition, what they do is they kind of start recovering the asset. Now let's take, for example, you are the current manager of GTSC.
Yes.
Not so. If you buy a man bus that was manufactured in the year 2020, and you buy it as at the 1st of January 2025, when are you going to start depreciating it?
The moment you start using it.
But as per our records now, you would have started depreciating them from 2020, as at the year of their manufacture.
Honorable, generally, when vehicles are made, hardly would they stay 1 year with the manufacturer without hitting the market. Hardly. Hardly.
Mr. Kanye.
Yes, Honorable.
You want to consult your accountants. Accounting is based on principles.
Yeah, true.
Depreciation is to cater for wear and tear.
True.
And the principle of depreciation states that as at the date of what? Acquisition, the organization will apply their rate.
True.
And on annual basis, a fair value from the cost of that asset will be apportioned throughout the useful years of that asset.
True.
So now tell us here, what basis did you use for your depreciation with regards to the cost recovery to establish the accounting value?
Now, Honorable, as I said, this vehicle, considering the year of manufacture 2003, as of 2018, it was already 15 years old.
Now, I will stop you there. I will stop you there.
Okay.
Based on the example I give you, being the current manager of GTSC,
Yes.
will you use the same basis as is reflected on this document to apply for depreciation?
Generally, that's what we use.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
On general terms, I'm asking you.
Yes.
Would you apply the basis of depreciation as the current manager of GTSC as reflected on this document?
Yes.
I will give you the example again so that you don't make an error.
Okay.
I said, if at all you bought a man bus in 2015,
Okay.
you bought a man bus that was manufactured in 2018, when are you going to start depreciating it? Will you start depreciating it in 2018 or will you start depreciating it in 2025?
2020? No, I'll start depreciating the day I start using the bus.
That will be which year?
2018, going by your statement.
I will repeat again, Mr. Kanye. The bus you bought in 2025 was made in 2018, but you bought the bus on the 1st of January 2025. When are you going to start depreciating?
From the day I start using it.
Which year?
2025.
So based on your statement, is this document in front of us correct?
No, I am saying that
Mr. Kanye, Mr. Kanye,
go ahead.
when facts are established, we don't lay backgrounds on them. Based on your statement, you said even though the vehicle was manufactured in 2018, but you start depreciating it during the year of acquisition, which is 2025. That's why I'm asking you. Based on that fact, the document we are having, which is depreciating the assets based on the year of their manufacture, is that document correct?
Honorable, if I may step in.
Yes, you can, please.
This was an exercise whose background regarding the vehicles somehow generally in Gambia was shrouded in, let me call it, missing information. It could be difficult that anybody could establish when those vehicles were acquired for the correct records by the former president. So one good basis for you to establish as a starting point in valuing them is to know the year of manufacture. When they were acquired, it's possible there were no records on that. Or if they were, they could be hidden, not available to my team. So this was the only basis we could use to guide us. And in depreciation, knowing buses, we could gauge how old they are, how long they have been used by the former president or the team, we could not establish.
Yes, Mr. Kanye, that will be a compromise position. Before giving you that convenience, let us answer the question based on principle.
Okay.
Is it right to use the year of manufacture?
Depending on information available to the assessing team.
Mr. Kanye,
Yes.
Principles and professionality does not work on compromises. We either get it right or we get it wrong. You either get it right or you get it wrong. Is it right to use the year of manufacture? That's the last time.
If you don't know the details, you might use it as a guide.
You might use it as a guide. Yes. The committee will really decide on that. But I will tell you for free, as a general manager of GTSC, that never use the year of manufacture to start depreciation. Let's move down now to the initial sales value. Can you tell us what that means?
Just like the market value.
The sales value is the market value.
Market value. Yes.
How did you determine the sales value?
Well, you look at the industry standards and you are guided by it.
Now, what role did the depreciation play in the establishment of your sales value?
Well, the moment a vehicle is fully depreciated, honestly, you are guided by only what goes as the market rate for a particular vehicle.
Let's take this particular one as an example. This 500,000. How did you establish it?
Well, as I said, we are by year of manufacture, and from that year to the date it was assessed 15 years, book value 0, and we know it's still in useful condition or still, which is 100. That's how the 5,000 was established as the going rate for this particular bus or others.
What was the cost as at the time of acquisition?
Not known to us.
You did not know the cost of the vehicles?
No.
Then, why were you thinking of depreciation itself when you don't even know the cost? Why were you depreciating?
Honorable, we are all users or buyers of vehicles, and most of the time in Gambia here, whatever vehicles we buy, especially for other uses, the second hand particularly, they are all fully depreciated. We all know that. But despite that knowledge, you attach values to them. You attach values to them. If you do a search on any bus that is, whether it was manufactured 2003 and is still in running condition, this value we have given, you will be around that, plus minus. Yes.
So, but I want us to agree on something, that there is a difference between the book value of an asset and the market value. The book value is basically for accounting purposes. That takes care of the cost, the annual depreciation, and then it gives you the net book value. The market value of an asset looks at other variables. That will be the general condition of the vehicle, the mileage, the usage of the vehicle, and whether it had any accidents. So in this particular valuation, the moment you guys are not able to establish the basis to apply the depreciation percentage on, which would have been the cost, why were you concerned with the depreciation?
As I said, the year of manufacture was the major determinant that guided us in our depreciation, with assumption that this must have been before and it has gotten its book value as 0.
Now, we've agreed that you can never rely on the year of manufacture for depreciation. That was an error in principle, application, and in accounting. That was completely wrong. And even if you wanted to wrongfully rely on the year of manufacture for depreciation basis, without the cost, how are you applying it?
Honorable, I think I'm going to repeat the same thing, that if you are affected by information asymmetry, not all the set of information you need to do something is not available, your best alternative will be to see what you can make use of what is available to you.
I wouldn't go further, we've established the point, but my submission would be this valuation doesn't serve as an accurate indication of the market values of these assets. And if at all this was the only valuation done by GTSC, then it was wrong. But should in case Mr. Kanye and his office are having any other document that would portray the real value or kept value of these assets that was based on an accurate valuation, committee should request for them and we have it. But these records are not accurate. Thank you.
Can I?
Just to add on something, Mr. Kanye, before I give it to Honorable Mbo.
Okay.
In the conversation, I think when the member asked you about using the year of acquisition and that you were relying on the year of manufacture, what is the essence of the remark colon in the whole valuation? If that is the case, why was it that the evaluators did not mention that in the remark colon to inform, members of the commission that, you are relying on the year of manufacture rather than year of acquisition, so that they know the value. You were not doing that. So how do we determine, the actual market value of the vehicle, if that is the case?
Okay, Honorable, some of these questions, you can easily get them even from the open market. It's not rocket science. As I said, I will repeat this. Any bus that is 10, 15, 20 years old and is in running condition, its value will be around what we have given as experts. Yes. And if Honorable is challenging that, I want to give it back, but let's assess what is in the market. Second-hand buses, how much do they cost? You will be guided accordingly.
Yes, Mr. Kanye, I'm not challenging your decision or your valuation. I'm assessing it based on the merits of your presentation. And on face value of the valuation report that you've presented to this committee is an error. And yourself will agree to that. When you said, one, you couldn't get the cost, two, you didn't know the year of acquisition, and you started making compromises. Now, those compromises diluted the authenticity of your report. I'm not challenging your report. No. But the merits you've provided to this committee do not really pass the test. You cannot depreciate an asset based on the year it was bought. Sorry, you cannot depreciate an asset based on the year it was manufactured. No, that's completely wrong. And you agreed in your submission that you will never do that as a general manager of GTSC. So why apply it to the assets of the former president?
Because for us as a company, we know year of manufacture, year of acquisition.
Then what?
So we have complete set of information.
Allow me. Go ahead. Then what stopped you from reporting to the Jana Commission that the key elements or most of the vital informations needed to do the valuation of these assets are missing? One, that is the year of acquisition. Two, the cost and others. Did you write to them to inform them?
We did not. We did not.
Thank you.
Just one thing I want to clarify before you take over the chair. I mean, Honorable Vice Chair grant him 30 minutes to get back to me. So I'm suggesting as far as he's here, it's left around by his side. Well, I can assign the guy to do the contacts for him before we wrap up with him. So that before we are ready, he can give us the results that we are asking for. If not, it will take time.
No, the task is for him, the witness, to give us that information. Now, it is up to him to assign the guy to do that work for him or not, but we will stick to him that he provide the information for us within that period.
Yes, yeah, I understand, but the 30 minutes that we are...
No, he knows already. Mr. Kanye will deal on that. Don't worry about for him to assign the guy. It's for him to do that now, if that is the case. Please. Honorable Mbo, can you go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just have a very short question.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Now, I just have a quick question. On the statement from Mr. Kanyi, number 9.
Okay.
He's saying that GTSC conducts vehicle valuations. Now, do you do this for a fee, or you just do it as you wish?
Generally, we do it depending on the arrangements, either for a fee, modest, or gratis.
Okay, in this particular instance, with the Journey Commission, who assigned you to do these valuations on these vehicles, have you charged anything?
We did not. The technical team was paid only, I think, 1 day allowance when they went to Kanilai.
One day allowance?
1 day allowance, which was, I think, $600 per person.
Okay, now just to continue where my colleague Fofana stopped on the depreciation. Were these vehicles acquired by the former president new, or were they used?
Going by the ages, some of them were used, some of them new.
Okay, but you never knew how much they were purchased for?
No, we did not.
Okay, so I think there's a real issue here, because if you do not know the purchase price, but then you want to do depreciation, I'm not too sure exactly how are you going to do that. That's a real issue.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kanye.
Yes, Honorable.
I want us to do a simple exercise.
Okay.
Because I saw you using your mobile to do a calculation. And when you realize the figures you got were not really right, you shifted to say you have to consult with your office.
True.
Let's look at how you get this figure on your depreciation. MOJ 8A4, and we can use our calculator and look at the initial sales value of the vehicle.
Okay. Honorable, you are taking me back to the same thing. I need to
No, don't worry. I'm not taking you back to the same thing. My interest is to find facts.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to direct what we should be doing, sir, with all due respect.
Okay.
Allow us to do our job.
That's good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, let's look at the initial sale value of the vehicle. What is the amount?
3.5 million.
3.5 million.
Yes, Honorable.
Okay, let's have that figure against the 25%, which is the depreciation. Which will be 0 times 0.25, right? Times 0.25. What are you having? And that will still bring us to the year, because you said you were taking the year that the buses were manufactured, right?
Yes.
Yes. So what do we have?
No, I did not say the initial value is based on year of manufacture. I did not say that.
What did you say?
I said the market value.
The market value.
Yes.
Okay, let's finish this exercise.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm listening, Honorable.
Yeah, what do you have? I asked. If you multiply that with 0.25, what is the answer?
It's quarter of 3.5 million.
Give me the figure, sir. Not full or quarter or half. I want to know the figure you got after multiplying. You see, you were not even doing the exercise, sir, because you did it earlier and you knew exactly what you got.
Say it again. I did not get that.
I said you multiply the 3.5 million against the depreciation percentage, which you said is 25%, right?
Okay.
So meaning 3.5 million times 0.25. What do we have as an answer, I ask?
They don't give you zero at the end of 4 years.
So, meaning the process has no value.
No, they have value. They have market value.
Where do you said it will give you how much? I don't even trust the answer you gave me.
Honorable, can you respect my request? I said I'll get back to
I would never take that request because I have the feelings that you are hiding something away from this committee.
I take exception to that, Honorable.
Honorable,
Yes?
can we allow him to consult and get us a figure accurate? I understand your point. When you calculate what you are asking for, it's a figure you get. But to get the correct information from him, without putting on the pressure right now, can he consult and get us a figure right now?
Chair, can I say this? Can I also say this?
Yes.
The figures are crystal clear
Yes.
on the document.
No.
As per what we have, just allow me. He's a general manager of a company. We would have expect him to know these figures in a simple context and share with us. Or are you still allowing witnesses to go out there, prepare themselves, come back, and baffle us?
No, not that. You know, remember, we are doing fact finding, and on this statement, you remember we said the witness should not tell us anything that is not factual. You understand? Now, if we should put him under pressure to tell us something that is not true, perhaps we are putting ourselves into trouble. If he said that he wanted to go back and consult, because I understand maybe he was not there. If he want to consult and give us information, we can accept that from him. Give us information, but make sure give us an accurate information. You understand? With what we have, I think that is in order.
Chair, I wouldn't go against your rulings, but also to be on record, he wouldn't come with anything new. Thank you. We can progress. Mr. Kani.
Yes, Honorable.
At some point you said when the then lead council invited you for a meeting, you didn't take any documentation of the meeting. Why? And as a general manager of a company, why should you sit in a meeting without taking minutes of that meeting? Can you explain that to us? And are you really in control of that company as a manager?
I am very much in control, and not all meetings that all of us attend, you take with you records, depending on how you are invited to a particular meeting. I said there was no formal communication from the Jane Commission for us to go to that meeting. We were verbally invited. We went there, had a very short discussion, and that was the end of it.
Mr. Kani, yes, in your statement when you were responding to the council, you did mention that whilst the lead counsel called for you to meet with her, then you were busy writing a proposal for the acquisition of the former president's bosses. Am I wrong or right?
Is that in my statement? I need to...
No, that was part of the response you gave to the council.
What did I say according to you?
You said the time that the then lead counsel, Ms. Ami Bensudo,
yes,
reached out to you for a meeting in relation to the bosses, then you were very busy developing a proposal for the acquisition of the bosses.
I cannot remember saying that, Honorable. I cannot remember saying that.
This is not 6 years. This is just few hours ago, maybe half an hour ago. And he is saying he cannot remember. Can you go back to the records and actually get part of his response in connection to what the council asked?
Very right, Council?
Yeah. I need to be reminded of that. I cannot remember saying that.
Council was, can you remember that question and the response?
I do remember the question, but if we could play the record, for the record to speak for itself.
Yeah, that will help.
Please.
That will help, yes.
Please.
All right, then is the video ready? Is the record ready right now before we can play? Otherwise, we can proceed and later.
Yeah, we can proceed and do it later. Yes, we can proceed, and shortly the technical team will avail the record for Honorable to circle back on that issue.
Okay, all right, thank you. We can proceed.
Mr. Kanye,
Yes, Honorable.
I have a concern. That is to say, when the Denjana Commission wrote to you and also served the company with an order to say they want the company to take ABCD responsibility sometime around 2017 December and January 2018 respectively.
Yes, correct.
You didn't act as a company, or the company didn't act? Because I also understand, to be fair with you, part of this time you were not at the office. It was a period of transition.
Yes.
However, what motivated the company to act when the head of the Government Vehicle Control Office wrote to you that prompted for your office to take actions in terms of doing the valuations and also with other arrangements? What actually prompted that? Why didn't you not act on the instruction of the commission? Instead, you acted on the instructions of the head of vehicle control unit.
Honorable, I said when we received the first letter, we did not act. It was a transition period. A reminder was sent to us in January, and then we wanted to act, but we had some difficulty accessing some of the areas. So it took almost, 2 weeks, from 23rd of January 2018, and we received a letter, the letter was copied to us in early February 2018. It was about 2 weeks span, authorizing the commander of the State Guard to give GTSC access to value the vehicles. But as I said, with all that, it was difficult to access them until around October that we had that easy access to the vehicles. So we had access problem. Yes.
You have access problem. That is on the side of when Mr. Sediba reached out to you. But when the council wrote to you through the Secretary General, you didn't take any action. And there was also an interval in between. So my question is, in between these two communications, why do you act swiftly with the instructions of the vehicle control unit against the commission's instruction? That's my question.
These are protocols that have to be observed, Honorable. Sometimes the commission will write to an institution to act, but if the other parties do not give green light for you to have access to what you want to do, you cannot. This is what happened in this case.
I don't still get to understand you, because for me, the reason behind you not accessing the site, or the duration when you couldn't access the site, was when Mr. Sedili or Sediba wrote to you. So I'm asking you, when the council wrote, when the commission wrote to you, you didn't take actions. What were the reasons? What really prompted you to act on the instructions of Mr. Sediba, not on the instructions of the Jana Commission?
Can you refer to the letters properly? Look at the date sequences, please. We were first written to in December 2017. A reminder was sent 5 weeks or so after that, or 6 weeks after that.
Mr. Kanye?
No, I'm coming. Please, let me land.
No, you said let me look at the letters properly.
Yes.
I'm looking at them and also want to guide you through the letters I referred to.
Okay. Okay.
The first letter dated 7th December 2017.
Yes.
Signed by the Secretary General or by the Secretary
Yes.
of the Commission.
Yes.
The second letter was authored 23rd January 2018.
That's the reminder.
That was a reminder, yes, but it's still a letter, right? The third letter by Mr. Sediba was what? I think 16th?
6th. 6th.
6th February?
Yes.
Yes. So, looking at these intervals, December, January, until February, my question is, why were you acting on the instructions of Mr. Sediba, not on the instruction of the Jana Commission?
We did not act on Sediba's instructions. We acted on the request of the Jana Commission, Honorable.
Okay, because I only noticed that you responded when Mr. Sediba wrote to you. That's a different thing to handle.
Sediba did not write to us. He wrote to the commander of the State Guard, copied us, and the essence was to give us access to the State House.
All right,
the vehicles.
That is fine. That is clear. Now let's look at the scrap thing. The buses that you sold as a scrap.
We did not sell buses as scrap.
Sorry, I'm very sorry. You didn't sell. Yes, you did the valuation.
Thank you.
And also tag prices. You know, I'm a body bunga. I like money, so
Okay.
yes. Essentially, I want us to look at, let's say, MOJ 8A5.
8A5.
Yes,
Okay.
because
Yes.
yes, if you look at it, there's this high-and-high bus that was labeled as a scrap.
I have a different narration here on 8A5. I'm not sure whether it's the same as what you have. Mine is an Iveco.
58. I captured 58 rather. Yes, 58.
Pico MOJ 58.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
MOJ 58. Yes, 58. I will definitely appreciate if you can guide us on the price variance on the buses that were valued at different prices. If you look at this specific one I referred you to, and the price tag is 249,000 as a scrap bus. I think it's a scrap, right?
Yes.
Scrap value.
Based on description, yes.
Now, if you look at MOJ 8A60, there is another scrap of a high and high with a price tag of 189.
Yes.
Against other price tags of scrap buses at 76K, 81K, and 68K. I think some of them, in fact, as low as 54 or 51,000.
Okay.
Why these variances, considering the fact that these buses equally were scrap buses? Can you guide us through, please?
It will depend on the materials the particular vehicle is made out of or made of. If it is largely aluminium content, that will attract more value, and if we have a lot of copper wires and other things in it. So it depends on the particular materials a vehicle is made of.
Okay.
Yes.
Akani,
Yes, Honorable.
let's take these two buses as a typical example. The one that you tag at 249 and the one that you tag at 189. What is the material variance in between these two buses?
Both valued at 350,000 each, market value. But look at the observations column. Look at the observations column, Honorable.
Yeah, I am.
So the cost of adjusting it to have it up and running are identified here, and they have different costs. So that explains the difference. in the net values or scrap values, we call them.
Mr. Khan?
Yes, Honorable.
I still want to understand this difference, because what I'm seeing here, for example, if you look at the one that you tag at 249, one of the observations you have is requires servicing, 25K and 8,500.
Just a minute, I'm looking at it properly. $25K requires servicing. That's for
The 2491.
58. Yes.
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 And this one, the observation here is they said missing. So no one knows what missing means. But what it captures is,
it means the engine is missing.
okay, the engine is missing.
It's there.
Okay, engine condition missing. But what I'm saying, if you look at the cost attached to that is 80K.
Yes.
And you were telling me that normally it emerged from the observations you have. So with these observations and also the amounts attached, which one is higher? The 249 against the 289. The 249,000 scrap boss of a high and die against the $189,000 scrap boss high and die.
I didn't get the question. Can you please repeat?
What I'm saying, looking at the observations and the amount attached, in between these two, considering the observations, which has a higher amount attached against the order?
The one marked 58 has lower cost for adjustment than the one marked 60.
So now, if that should have a lower cost for adjustment, why should a price be tagged on it that is higher than the one that has a higher cost on maintenance or service?
That's very simple arithmetic, Honorable.
Kindly help.
Yes, 350 minus 110 gives you higher value than 350 minus 160.
Come again.
I say 350,000 minus 160,000 will give you lower value than 350,000 minus 101,000.
Okay. Thank you. I get that. But again, I'm still surprised that we can sell a scrap for 289,000 for a boss as a scrap, or we can tag a price as a value for a scrap of boss at 289,000 against 50 or 76,000. I'm definitely not convinced how this is possible.
Okay.
For now, I would hold it here until the proposal, the issue of the proposal is clear. Then I'll make a follow-up question, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Honorable. Mr. Kanyi?
Yes, Honorable.
Quickly, just to, before we close, earlier when you were talking to the council, you actually mentioned about, by the way, before I get there, what was the reason that GTSC did not go in for the bosses? Because I think it was proposed to GTSC if they would have interest to purchase the bosses. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And what was the reason that you did not buy?
I said previously that we felt conflicted to assess an item and buy it ourselves.
Okay, so the conflict of interest is coming from GTSC itself?
Exactly.
Okay. So, Honorable Fofana was asking, before we conclude, on the valuation, the assessment done. Now, would you agree that there are missing elements in the valuation in its entirety?
I agree.
Okay. And for that being the case, perhaps we will say the valuation done by GTSC has very serious defects. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say so. I would say, based on the information made available to us, we did our utmost best to come up with a valuation report. But it's based on what is available as information to us.
But if there is any losses, if there's any losses, in the sales of the buses, would GTSC take responsibility to say they did not give a fair, assessment of the buses to the commission to sell these vehicles? Would that be the case?
I would say our valuation was based on our expertise through by technicians and the market going rate. So for us, we are convinced that we did not undervalue anything and we did not overvalue anything.
Okay.
Chair, I think we have made something clear, very clear here in regards to the evaluation report. Going by the evaluation and the evaluation report is telling that there are errors. And GTSC was doing the right thing, telling us that what they did was right. And comparing to what we have in here, based on Mrs. Kari's response, there is a big problem with the evaluation report. So should we accept the report to say it is correct, or should we say the report is incorrect? For the evaluation report, if you look at the evaluation report that is given to us, based on my preliminary check, there are big gaps, Mr. Kari. So I will definitely say that this report is not correct. Either you are overcharging, or you are undervaluing. This too might happen. Thank you.
All right. So the issue here is the onus lies on the committee to accept the valuation report, but Mr. Kanye, as a witness, perhaps he has right to defend his valuation, his statement as well. But it is for us as a committee to determine whether what we have in our position is right or wrong. And I think the committee will take a decision on that. Remember, we will have a report based on our view of the whole assessment, and of course, what is submitted to us. We will take a decision on that, and perhaps it will form part of our recommendation later. Yes. So, Council, before we move, any further clarification?
Yes, not quite clarifications, but just to remind the witness that there were 3 items he is to provide to the committee. The first one is the facts in relation to what you described as the GTSC impasse.
Okay.
The second is just to itemize for us all the locations of the buses. And the third is an explanatory note on the issue of depreciation as brought out by the honorable members. That's all from us.
All right. Thank you so very much. I think the witness is taking note of that. Mr. Kanyi, do you have any final word to say?
No, Chair, very final word. There is 30 minutes given to him to respond to me. Are we allowing him to go without 30 minutes given to him? What are we doing? He said we give him 30 minutes. And he was to be given 30 minutes to respond to me. What are we saying now?
Intervene in that area because when that issue happened, I was chairing. And I have on my notes, because when the lead counsel said another witness is coming, giving him that 30 minutes would have an issue. I put to the witness, do you have an answer to this question? And he said he has no answer to the question. I said, then the committee will decide on that. Let's take note of that point. That was what happened. I took note here to say he said he has no answer to that. So like the chair said, when we were deliberating over these things, this thing needs to be highlighted.
Very well, very well. Just like I said, if information is asked and it could not be provided, yes, the committee will determine what we put in the report and as part of our recommendation. But if the witness has the answer, perhaps you can provide the answer to the committee, okay? But if you do not have, yes, we will take note of it, and then it will form part of our report as well. Because I think it's a valid question, and it, seeks for a very clear answer. Thank you so very much. Do you have any final word before we?
Yes, thank you, honorables and council team. Some valuable observations on our report, but just for some tips here to be guided properly on the values we have attached to our valuation, not to defend them, but just to guide each other. In this world of internet also, even if you go online to any vehicle valuation sites online, punch age of a particular vehicle and its current market value, you'll be guided. These are very straightforward answers one can get. As simple as that. It's a very simplistic approach, but we did not go that way. We have to assess thoroughly the vehicles and see a way of attaching values to them. I agree with the honorables that the depreciation aspect has some issues, which I promise to get back to you on. Yes, but that's one thing. But the most important aspect is an old vehicle will have a market value, whether scrap or not, and then that's exactly what we did as a GTSC. Thank you. And I promise to provide you the information as soon as possible, these 3 areas. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Kanyi. And yeah, we will release you for today. Maybe in the course of the inquiry, if we need you again, yes, you will be listened to. Yes. Of course, you will be here to raise more questions. Yes. And for now, we will take a long break, and then we'll resume at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
And any money move that we. So the agenda is moved and adopted, seconded, so now it is adopted. The witness was here before. There will be no need for introduction. The same members of the committee. I would just call the attention of the witness that this is your second time, and you're still on oath. So we accept that we will move the way we were moving before, and there may not also be a need to take an oath, like I said. So, council members, good morning once again, and I wish to express my sincere appreciation for giving me the opportunity once again to be here to make few clarifications and to help all of us to move forward. Honorable Mr. Chair and committee members, last time I was here, there are a few things that I mentioned, most particularly regarding the file on my right. When I went back again to our office, I look at the file with some of my colleagues, and then the first remark I made was that the file was closed, which I discovered is not a closed file. It is still rolling. Just that it has not been very active, because it has been since the last letter was April 2025. So
sincere apologies on that. And also, my memory could not serve me well. I mentioned that it was a general file instead of Journey Commission. It is Journey Commission file. I've also discovered that. So my sincere apologies for those errors, to keep your record straight. Basically, I don't want to mention these things several times, but as Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, which was recently put together before we had the Secretary General, and then when we had the Secretary General, the Secretary of Cabinet was under the Secretary General, which all of us as civil servants are answerable to the Secretary General. When those changes were made, you have the Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, then you have the Chief of Staff. So the Office of the President is, as I said, yes, I'm the Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, but we also have the Chief of Staff that is responsible for the Office of the President. My role as, I don't want to dwell much on that, I'm sure all of you know that, because you know the responsibilities, mainly focusing on cabinet matters, CPs. When I say CP, I mean cabinet papers. Also taking minutes during cabinet meetings. The other aspect, that is Head of the Civil Service, we deal with the PMO, Public Service Commission, and the Ministry of Public Service, and the entire civil service. So that was just a clarification on how we operate. So that is why when the file was requested, I did not bring the file personally. I came with the Chief of Staff. The chair can attest to that. We came together, we brought the file together, just to confirm that this is the file. On this, I think apart from that, just a few things also on the side of my letter. You know, the system is like Office of the President is the core of the system. And then we have branches, that is the ministries. So these ministries where you have most of the technical people. For us, is coordination and implementation of government programs. Why I was saying most of the time, like Cabinet Office, we do not have a specific file on Journey Commission, that is the Cabinet Office. But also, we always have letters, we call them flashpoints. You don't normally have, apart from a report from Cabinet, how do you call Cabinet Task Force, we don't have full reports, because we always direct, you can see most of our letters are short. So it's always directed to ministries to take care of it. That is why when I got the summon, what I did was, okay, this is the Office of the President, but I think the Ministry of Justice, since they are the people responsible for this, redirect your inquiries to this. That will help quicker than me looking for information here, because of Cabinet Office don't have a specific file for this. It has nothing to do with concealing information, because I can remember when this thing started, the first thing we did was to bring the media to the Office of the President to look at all the cars that are there. I don't know whether you have seen it on TV.
Witness, we will go into those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We just want to hear your apology.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those corrections. Like if you can fully.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for the corrections, because when these documents were requested by these honorable members, the response we got from you were like they do not exist. But then, since now you've provided and then you made an apology, we will take it from there And only perhaps to caution you that as the Secretary to Cabinet and the head of the civil service, that's a very important office. And I could say it's an apex office for all the civil servants. So a lot more witnesses would be answering to this committee. So if you, one way or the other, had an error, that was a serious thing. But the fact that now you've corrected it and apologized, we'll take it from there. So at this point, I will hand you over to the legal team to continue with the process of questions and answers. Counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Welcome back, Mr. Jai.
Yeah.
So, just in your statement, you had mentioned the Chief of Staff vis-a-vis your role. Can you please, very shortly, nothing too elaborate, just distinguish between your two roles?
Thank you. As I said, the role of the Chief of Staff, we are interwoven in the office, but currently, as Chief of Staff, he is the head of the Office of the President. He is the head of the Office of the President, responsible for the admin. And then myself, responsible for the civil service.
Thank you. So when it comes to issues such as records such as these, the file you just submitted to the committee, who is the natural custodian of the file?
It is the Chief of Staff.
Thank you. And vis-a-vis to your role, as the head of civil service and secretary to cabinet, you had mentioned that you deal with cabinet papers and, can you elaborate, and minutes of the...
Minutes of cabinet.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically, we always have a cabinet meeting on every Thursday. And then before the meeting, we have what we call an agenda, which we circulate all the CPs. CP is cabinet papers, sorry, I'm using this abbreviation. It is when ministries or ministers submit cabinet papers concerning their ministry, it's the one that we circulate. We circulate it and then it is tabled in the cabinet meeting. So what is deliberated there is what I take. We're taking minutes, because normally there is what we call, at the end of the discussion, there is a conclusion. So is that conclusion, what is in the cabinet paper, and what is the conclusion in the cabinet, what is concluded in the cabinet is the one that I take, and it becomes a decision of the cabinet.
So just correct me if I'm wrong. There is an instrument called a CP, a cabinet paper, which emanates from different ministries. If I am correct, these are policy considerations. They are submitted to cabinet. Once they are submitted, your role kicks in to draw an agenda item out of these cabinet papers, right? And once it's deliberated in cabinet, there are minutes and there are conclusions. So the conclusions are incorporated in the CP, while the minutes are standalone. Correct?
Yeah, let me just, I don't know whether I understand what you're saying, but then we take the deliberation from the CP, what has been indicated in the CP, but at the end, there is the last paragraph. That's where you put in the conclusion what has cabinet agreed, whether the paper is accepted, approved, or disapproved, or whether it's accepted or not accepted. That's what we call the cabinet conclusion.
The fate of the cabinet paper is clear. After the considerations are brought, the conclusion is put against those considerations. That's fine. What I'm trying to establish is whether or not minutes do exist of these meetings.
Yeah, it do.
Thank you. Now, we'll come back to that. However, I would like you to guide this committee on the fact that this file or the file that you produced, did it emanate from another file? Is it a series of another file? Or did it emanate from a consideration of cabinet? Can you guide us on that? Now, Mr. Njai, we tread with caution here, because in your last testimony, you had mentioned that the file is a confidential file. And we have noted as a committee that the file is indeed a confidential file. You need not expose the contents of the file, but give us enough information to guide the committee. And of course, our proceedings are public, and the public needs to be aware of our proceedings. But be guided in your responses. You need not expose the contents.
Thank you, and thank you for that. When I look at the file, I was not around, so I just go according to what I have seen here. Looks like the first letter is in 2017. That is when the file was opened.
So if I could just caution, we would like a smooth hearing today. We understand that you are not here, but you are the custodian and the master of these records. So if we could just move on. You understand that you are not here. If we could just move on to guide the committee so that we can gain traction.
The file was opened in 2017, and then, as I said earlier, it is not a closed file. So obviously, it's not a closed file. It's still continuing. But it's if there is any other file that started before that, I wouldn't mind also check. But I am not sure whether there was any file before that. But what I know is it commenced in 2017.
Can you specify the date in 2017?
That's 30th June 2017.
What are you looking at?
The last week here.
The first document?
Yeah.
But the first document is minuted as the third item on the file. So perhaps you may be better guided by the minutes, the minute sheet, which should be contained in the first page. And the first page of the minute sheet would have a date.
29 June 2017.
Yes. So the file commenced on 29
June 2017. Yeah.
Still on the commencement. If we go back to the contents of the letter that you first held, which is minuted as the third letter, as the third item rather, which is dated the 30th of June 2017. Now, I had cautioned about confidentiality. At any point when you feel something is confidential and you don't want, I would prompt questions. It is my responsibility to prompt questions, but it will be left to you to say you would wish for this to be curtailed, and then we can deal with the information very minimally. However, Honorable Chair, I would ask that at every time the witness requests, the committee look at it and the committee decide on whether it is indeed a confidential document and fit for this limited disclosure.
I'll take note of that.
I do not believe this document would be, but correct me if I'm wrong. Please guide us on the nature of this document. You can take a second or so to look at it. Perhaps what you can do is, let's gain some time. Just read the first paragraph of the letter.
the establishment of the above captioned Commission of Inquiry, I write to inform you that His Excellency the President has approved the appointment of the undermentioned individual, listed individual, to serve in the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Jai. Now, having read that paragraph, it follows that indeed there is a communication that advises this letter. It would follow us so naturally, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry, I probably have to check that also. Sorry.
Yes,
Thank you.
I want you to read the paragraph. Read the paragraph. Take your time.
Okay.
Take your time and read the paragraph. Once you read the paragraph you just read for us.
Yeah.
Following the establishment of the above caption commission.
Yeah, that means
It advises that
yes,
there was
something previously before this.
of course, that advised the establishment.
I write to inform. Okay.
In your experience, what could that be? Could that be cabinet minutes? Was it a committee? Could you advise us on this? Take your time, Mr. Njai.
He has approved. That means it's coming from somewhere. I don't know whether it's the Ministry of Justice. I don't want to speculate here and then come back and start apologizing, but obviously it's coming from somewhere.
Could you look at the first minute on the minute sheet? Look at it in conjunction with the second minute.
Yes. Now, it said the Ministry of Justice.
You can read it and internalize it before you read it out
Say, may I
loud.
humbly refer Your Excellency, been a submission from the Ministry of Justice, MOJ.
Mr. Njai, you can take a second to read it out for yourself.
Not loud?
Not loud.
Oh, okay.
Internalize it first, and when you're ready, you let us know.
My understanding is it is coming from the Ministry of Justice.
So, is this what would be referred to as a cabinet paper? Could this be a cabinet paper? Or could it be perhaps derived from a cabinet paper?
So obviously, it must be cabinet paper.
Can you explain more? You are the expert. You are the secretary to cabinet. The committee would like to be guided on these elements in a very detailed manner. Why is it a cabinet paper? How do you derive that it is an extract from a cabinet paper?
Thank you. Most of the time, in this regard, the committee is set up by the cabinet. It's set up by the cabinet, that is the cabinet forum, and then names are submitted, approved by cabinet, and then submitted also back to cabinet for approval. So it's a CP sort of, CP, could be a CP.
So this is an extract from a CP,
Okay.
or is it a CP in itself?
Because you form a task force from approval from the cabinet.
A committee.
Yeah.
And is there communication of that? How would communication of that be?
It has to come from the Ministry of justice concern, and then also in the attention of the cabinet, then minutes are taken on that basis.
So would the Ministry of Justice ordinarily just come with that policy consideration, or would that policy consideration, which metamorphoses into a CP, be prompted by something? Like an instruction from cabinet, the president also?
No, it's the cabinet.
So ordinarily it would be...
When it comes from the Ministry of Justice, then cabinet approves, then it's conveyed back to the ministry concerned.
So let's clear something. You just mentioned when it comes from the Ministry of Justice, cabinet will approve. But before it comes from the Ministry of Justice, is the ministry at liberty to advise as it deems fit, or would it be prompted by cabinet for the ministry to look into such affairs?
That ministry is always guide. Then you bring it to cabinet. It's like prompted by a ministry for the cabinet, and then cabinet take decisions on that.
So in this instance, going by note 1, or minute 1 rather, the Ministry of Justice at the time, or the Minister of Justice, advised himself and decided to bring a cabinet paper to advise the government to establish a commission, so to speak, to look at financial dealings with the ex-president. Would that be roughly the scenario?
Scenario somehow, yeah.
To the best of your knowledge, do you know that that's what happened?
No, absolutely. It's just the procedures I'm trying to explain. But to the best of my knowledge, I have not.
You did mention that you were the holder of minutes.
Yeah.
And would there be any minutes prior to minute 1 of this file? Would there be any record of proceedings of cabinet?
I'm not sure whether if you can remember the paper that I brought. Remember the establishment of the committee till when, before I left, you said it is not authentic simply because there are no signatures.
It is not signed. Yes.
Exactly. I think it's something like that. I'm not sure if it is not right to recheck also.
So, just for the record, this is exactly the record that you brought. It is a letter dated the 30th of June 2017, and in fact, it is minute 3 of that file. So, that is my point, because the letter in itself infers that there were other happenings to advise it. The letter did not emanate by itself. Something must have advised the letter. So that's what this committee is trying to understand. Now, just to clarify something, usually in the practice of cabinet, would cabinet, and by extension the president, be advised on issues before taking a decision, or can the president take the decision without the need for any advice?
Normally, it's counsel,
especially from cabinet.
Counsel, just to remind the witness, is confusing the committee and the council. The commission. When he refers to the commission, he will say committee. Well, I know because he is before a committee. So, just to avert his mind.
Yes, just to avert your mind to the fact that this is not a commission of inquiry. This is a parliamentary committee, and perhaps maybe when you're making reference to the commission of inquiry, you can apply your mind to that. Yes, did you get the question? Does the president make decisions without advice from or deliberations from cabinet?
No. It has to be deliberated. Any paper brought forward in cabinet is deliberated. We come to a conclusion in cabinet, yeah.
And those conclusions, apart from their addition to the cabinet papers, they would be contained in the minutes, yes?
And we also circulate them to the respective ministry or the ministry concerned.
Great, okay. Not to waste more time on this issue, Honorable Chair, I would ask that the minutes of cabinet from the 19th day of January 2017 to the 12th of July 2017 are produced to this committee. However,
19th of January.
yes, however, 19th of January 2017. However, the witness is at liberty to indicate the level of risk of the information contained in those minutes, and the committee will advise itself on inspection rather than production.
Sorry, can I ask? Can you repeat?
So 19th of January 2017, that is when the coalition government took its seat and when His Excellency was sworn in. To the 12th of July 2017. Honorable Chair, if I can amend that request a bit. So from that inception date, so just to be clear, minutes of cabinet meetings from the 19th day of January 2017 to date.
Concerning the commission.
Just minutes. Just minutes of cabinet meetings. Now, that is why the burden is on you.
No, because look, I'll give you a sample. This is just first cabinet to 31st cabinet 2024 when I assume office. You see, this is just one of the reports, just one of those things. So that means I'm not.
So I wish I could show you, the books behind us.
I know, but
we have a volume of books and we have read every single one. Trust me, we have the time. But I had given you the courtesy of indicating the sensitivity of the information. And if that is the case, and if you certify to that effect, so of course you cannot do that now, but if you certify to that effect, the committee would apply itself appropriately.
Yeah.
But this is the request.
Yeah, sure.
So, Honorable Chair, we could discuss, since it's a confidential file, we can discuss the modalities of the record. All right, very well. All right, so, Mr. Njai, I would like to show you a copy of the legal notice that establishes the commission.
Honorable Mbo want to make.
Yes. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Council. Yes, I think I just want the witness to about his mind to what the Council is actually saying, because if it is something that is sensitive, now it's up to you to tell us that the meeting minutes of this particular day, whatever it is sensitive, and again, we are also cognizant of the fact that there are certain information that doesn't need to go public, but that's up to you now to tell the Council or to tell the Chair. But maybe, I don't know how we want to do that, but again, we are not asking you to give us everything, because there could be some confidential information which we need to protect as a state.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's up to you, yeah.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. To be frank with you, most of the informations, they are very confidential. So, they are all cabinet information papers here.
So, Honorable Chair, the application was made. I believe the Chair had granted the application. What would follow is that we would put it on record and issue a formal order, and Cabinet can then respond formally.
Yes, very well. The order is granted, and the confidentiality and non-confidentiality would be treated by this committee. We are cognizant of that, but the order is granted, so we want all of them.
Right. if the committee secretariat could guide the witness on MOJ 2. So, all right, so let's gain traction. This shouldn't be a long session before the Fofana Kundas start attacking me. Look at the first paragraph, Mr. Njai. You could see that, if I can read it out, this is a document that is submitted to us, so it is not confidential. Preliminary reports received from Inter Alia, amongst others, the Central Bank of the Gambia, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation, Gambia Ports Authority, Gambia Telecommunications Company Limited, etc. The list goes on. Indicate that substantial funds were either directly or indirectly withdrawn, paid out or expended on instructions or directives received from the Office of the President during the tenure in office of the former President Jammeh, sometimes for unknown purposes. Now, this paragraph infers that reports were submitted from these different institutions, the ministries, departments, and institutions. Those reports would ordinarily be submitted to cabinet, wouldn't they?
I don't want to.
See,
I'm just coming. I'm just looking at how the.
Take your time. Is there enough time?
Yeah, but I still need to, because as I said, if you have reports normally brought to the attention of cabinet, ordinarily I would say yes, you should come to cabinet. Gambia Ports Authority, Telecommunication Company Limited, yeah. Reports.
And perhaps the minutes will confirm or show these reports. Yes, because Mr. Njai, this instrument in itself, the one you're perusing, it emanates from cabinet. It emanates from nowhere else. So the president himself endorsed this and established the commission. That is the power given to him by the Constitution. And that paragraph does not mention where the reports were submitted to. So the natural conclusion is that they were submitted to cabinet. Isn't that so? So
at this juncture, I would make an application, Honorable Chair, that the said reports are submitted to this committee, and any deliberation around those reports, if not contained in the minutes already sought for, are submitted. Any considerations and conclusions are also submitted. If does the chair want me to itemize that for him?
You can.
We can do that subsequently.
Want to do that later?
Yes. Does the chair prefer I do it now?
Well, let's do it now.
As you please. So, Honorable Chair, I make an application to request that the witness provide 1. Reports submitted to Cabinet by the ministries, departments, and institutions referenced in legal notice number 15 of 2017. Number 2, any report or minutes derived from deliberations on the reports, if not already contained in the minutes and reports earlier sought. Any conclusions born from the reports. And out of the abundance of caution, I'd say 4, any other information or record in relation to those reports. Mr. Njai, I believe you were calling my attention on something. Would you like to? Please. That's fine. We can always. Can I proceed?
Are you referring to the inter alia reports on MOJ 2?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Now, Sanjay, I would like you to make reference to that file you provided. Go to minute 44.